Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Growth Path. Today is an interesting one. We actually have one of the co-founders of Purple Path on today. We have Dave Miller. Dave is the mastermind behind all things content at Purple Path. He has worked at numerous organizations, including some of the ones that we've worked at together. For example, Exponia, which is now Bloomreach. Myself and Dave go way back, almost 10 years or so, and we've worked across numerous projects. And a year ago, almost, we founded Purple Path together, although we had been working on other projects together beyond that. Dave, welcome to Growth Path.
Yeah, man, thank you. I was begging and begging to finally be brought on, and here I am. But we're going to flip the script. Andy, I don't want to be your guest. I want you to be the guest. The problem is you're always interviewing people and across multiple brands. And so I actually want to flip the script today and have you be the guest on Growth Path. So
Bash.
let me tell everyone what I know about you. So Andy was the director of global demand generation at Emarsis. That's where I'm not incorrect. That's where you cut your teeth in tech. Then
Yeah.
he went on to VP of Marketing at Exponia, which is now Bloomreach. He was CMO at Leadfeeder. He's worked, but after Leadfeeder, there was a transition. He moved into fractional CMO and marketing advisor across SaaS brands. This includes Extreme Push, Marmind. I know you worked for Base HQ, and now you're the CEO of Purple Path. So let's get into that. Last week was an unusual week for you, though. What happened last week?
This this old thing. Is that
Yeah,
what you
there you
refer?
go.
This old thing. No, so so marketer of the year. So um Dave, you were with me. We were in Bucharest.
I was.
So no, like last week we had the Tekpon Awards in Bucharest, and I got marketer of the year, which is very humbling. I have to say, it's very nice, and yeah, like it's a testament to, not like, to be honest with you, it's everybody on the team that leads towards that. To be honest, not just me, but it's a nice little feather in the cap, let's say.
Yeah, and since I know about this and I was there with you, it seems that you had some fun. You enjoyed yourself. You let your hair down, so to speak.
I had too much fun, man. Like shit, like we so Romanian wine is mixed with an Irish me, an American you, and
And a trophy.
a Kiwi from Utter is the name of the organization, is a bad mix, man. And I
Yeah.
think everybody could see that the next morning when you and I made our way down to breakfast.
Yeah, no, that was a legit event, and it almost felt like a lot of effort and work and everything and flights and organization and leading up to that moment. It was an explosion of good times. Let's say it that way.
It was
All
good
right.
fun.
So listen, you're CEO of Purple Path now. Purple Path is a new business. We're kind of the new kids on the block. We're trying to go out and change the world, but based on looking at your career, it's been almost surgical from an outsider's perspective, right? You've gone from these C-level positions in big name brands, and then eventually you stopped that. You went out and did this thing for yourself because you were saying yes to brands who wanted to work with you, but you didn't want a full time gig. How did that lead to this next step of building Purple Path?
Good question. Um, so like I was well, first point is probably ambition. I think I'm quite ambitious, and I didn't like the fact that it was just me. Like I was building, like I had this brand andyculligan.com, right, which was just me, right? So if I'm not there, something happens to me, then it's like that's gone, right? And at the same time, I wanted something that was somewhat scalable. So the issue, like I and you as well, they've come from a tech background, so we come from SaaS, right? That's a product. You have a product to sell which can scale, and once you get enough customers into the product, you can scale it even further, right? The issue with what we do in services is that time is not scalable. Like I can't duplicate myself. It's just not possible. Like I can't productize Andy, or I can't productize Dave, right? So I wanted to have something that we can try to scale, right? And it's going to remain at throwing people at it. But like, I can't be the one that's responsible for managing everything content. I can't be responsible for everything that's managing product marketing. I can't be responsible for everything digital marketing ops, etc. Right? So I need experts to come in and basically take those things and try to scale out their individual arms of the organization. That's basically what we're doing, right? So we're going and placing ourselves in organizations, or we're coming in and running marketing on behalf of organizations. But I want to be able to do that globally. And I need to have more people, more like-minded people that give a shit. Like each of you guys give a shit, you know, like I need people that I know and trust to be able to build out the individual arms within that organization. And that's essentially what we're doing, right? And it's gone from just being me, because the need is in the market, to have more people and a bigger team and offer various different aspects of the marketing mix rather than just CMO support, right?
Yeah. Do you see that in the impact, the value chain for the customers? So when you're bringing yourself in, they already had some teams there. Sometimes the teams just aren't enough. You'd have to bring in extra people. But with this format that we have now, do you see that it's providing impact for the customers? You're providing more than just the leadership arm.
Yeah, and it's also less stressful for me. You know, so somebody else can take over something. Like other people have ownership. You know, Dave, I talk about ownership on things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I can't own everything. Like certain organizations will come to me and like, I need you to own everything in marketing. It's like, this is not possible. You know, it's like, it's really just not possible. Like I can't do it. It's not going to be done well. So I need to hand over, I need to delegate, right? I need to delegate stuff over to you guys, and you guys are able to pick up the bag, because you guys are the experts in your individual fields, right?
Yeah.
I just know how to pull all of the different things together,
Yeah. No,
right?
you're good at that. I'll give you that for sure. Yeah, I think ownership is a big is a massive thing, right? And you either have the type of personality that immediately wants to take ownership, or you have to be given ownership, and it's two completely different styles of work. Some are meant to be led, and some
Yeah.
are meant to lead. So it's a good point. Listen, on that topic, one of the things you talk about publicly quite a bit is alignment. You know, oftentimes when we go into a brand, there's complete misalignment. You have teams running in different directions. So since you're you've been on the ground so many times and you've successfully aligned teams around the go-to-market strategy, it includes sales, it includes, you know, you're reporting to the CRO and the CEO, and you've got marketing and sales now running in the same direction rather than just the sake of running, right?
Yeah.
What is maybe some hack or tip you can give to listeners about when they feel that wedge in their business and they're completely siloed? What can leadership do to actually start to build that alignment within the business?
Lead. Like the problem that I'm seeing, like especially with CEOs, right? CEOs are the first ones that it's normally where it starts with. Like the book ultimately stops with them. So they need to be the ones that say, okay, guys, this is bullshit. We need to do these things differently. So you start by like addressing the problem. So address the elephant in the room. Marketing and sales are not aligned. Great. Okay. If you have a chief revenue officer, a CMO, or if you have somebody that's managing revenue and somebody that's managing marketing, the first step is, guys, you guys need to start talking to one another. Like, what's the plan? Like, you've got a revenue target. Marketing has targets. Are those targets connected? That starts with the CEO. The CEO is the one that sets the company targets, and he's the one, or she's the one that agrees agrees to what the targets are going to be across all the multiple teams within the
Yeah.
organization, right?
Yeah.
So that's normally where it starts. The CEO really needs to be in the driving seat for that, and then following that, it's about just having fucking conversations, man. Like, people just don't talk to one another. It's like a sip of people say, "Oh, what's the big secret and how do you align teams?" Like, they don't fucking talk to one another. So how are you supposed to be aligned?
I remember once you said, as a CMO, I think you were in that role at the time. You said, "Take your head of sales out to lunch and repeat once a week. Just
Yeah.
go have a chat, talk to them."
Yeah, exactly. Like, I sometimes ask marketing leads, like, when was the last time you talked to your sales counterpart, or when was the last time you guys went for a beer or whatever together, or went for a drink or had a chat, whatever, you know? Oh yeah, like we did that like the last big kickoff, you know, sales, the SKO or whatever. But or actually not the SKO, because normally marketing aren't even invited to the SKO. That's another issue. They go, okay, the company might have a meetup or something like that, and they had a quick chat, and that's it. I was like, oh, so there's no regular conversations, no like weekly one-on-ones, something like that. No, well, not at all. Like, they do their thing, we do our thing, and that needs to change. And also with the SKO thing, like, I've worked with an organization this year where marketing didn't even consider even being invited to the SKO. They were like, why would we go to that? That's a sales thing. I'm like, it's a commercial team thing. And you are part of the commercial team. Like marketing is part of the commercial team. It's not like they help make selling easier for sellers. If marketing are doing their job correctly, they should be able to open up doors for sellers. Now, albeit it's getting harder and harder to do that because of digital dilution and just so much shit being thrown everywhere and people being overwhelmed with comms, etc. But if you're doing marketing in the right way, i.e., you're being creative, you're pitching your unique value prop, right? You're managing to get it in front of the right eyeballs. It should be easier for sales. Now, I'm not saying that they should just wait for signatures on contracts to come flying in through the door. It's more so like it's the difference between somebody going to an event or somebody picking up a phone to go cold outreach and getting a hi, this is Andy from Purple Path and getting a who from where to like who from, oh yeah, I've heard of Purple Path, I've seen you guys around.
Yeah.
You know, and the only way to do that is repetition, 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 getting that everywhere. But marketing and sales need to work together on that because, like, let's take one example in that entire like ecosystem.
Yeah.
Marketing can do all that brand stuff, right? But at the same time, SDRs or BDRs, whatever you want to call them, they need to be also part of that. They need to understand what's happening in that ecosystem or that side of things so that they're able to double down and say the same message. So you can have an SDR that's reaching out to thousands of people all at one time via sequences and be using a completely different message to what marketing is going out to the market with, which is completely disjointed. So marketing are trying to create, that's a fucking terrible idea. So you have marketing going out with one message, and then you have BDRs going out with a different message. Your marketing are trying to go after the same people that BDRs are, hopefully, and the message doesn't, like, it's not connected, right? So like BDRs are like the personal or like the people or the personal touch within a brand. Like that's the building relationship of the brand. Like they're the face of the brand essentially, right? Whereas marketing does all the digital stuff and does all the brand presence at events and whatever print, whatever you're doing. But those two things, when they match together and you have consistency across both of those things, beautiful things can happen. It doesn't even need to be BDRs. It can be, if you don't have a BDR team, you might have salespeople that are doing outreach, right? You might have full cycle salespeople. They're doing the outreach. So they need to make sure that they're aligned with whatever's happening on the marketing side, because otherwise you get two different messages. So you're selling two different products. So marketing is going to build a brand, sales are going to build a brand, and you've got two separate brands. Congratulations. Brilliant. You're, you know,
two.coms and you're good to
go. Yeah, exactly. So I've gone on a rant there, but it drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah, I went into a brand that and I asked them, can I come work for you? Because when I come across any touch point digitally, it sounds like 16 different people yelling at me. I'm pretty sure I can align that, right? So, quick question off the back of that. SDRs, do they belong under sales or do they belong under marketing?
Typically not. They don't work well under sales normally because the sales leader doesn't know how to manage them effectively normally. They're so busy, in tech at least. Salespeople or sales leaders are so busy on trying to make sure that they're closing that they've got no time to effectively manage the kindergarten of the organization. You need a whip cracker in there that's going to be just cracking the whip the entire time. Now, that's only going to work if you have a very, very solid SDR leader, which typically is hard to come by. And they also need a lot of hand holding because typically it's their first leadership role. And the sales director is only, or sales head of leadership and sales. Again, my experience, like, and I say this across, 30, 40 different companies, whatever it is. The typical thing is the sellers like, or sales leadership is like, I just don't have time to manage that. I just can't. I don't have time to be checking in with them every single day. I don't have time to make sure they have enough contacts in their sequence. I don't have time to check their messaging. It's closer associated with the marketing team because again, they're going after a broader audience. They're creating an entire total addressable market list, which you're then getting personas, adding into those against those accounts. You've got numerous contacts against accounts. Then you're creating messaging via sequences, which would then be pushed out via email, LinkedIn, right? Then you're taking people, you're putting them into those sequences, and essentially you're surrounding those people with messaging that are coming from a salesperson rather than from marketing. But it's very, very closely linked.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You actually do lead some SDRs. And
I do.
So that's why we had to ask, because there's still the debate, the great debate, right? 50-50. Do SDRs belong under sales or do they belong under marketing? And you've seen it through successfully where they fit into marketing quite nicely.
I've only seen it being successful under marketing.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
But only when I'm leading it.
That's it. Just so everyone who's listening. Yeah.
So that sounds arrogant. But I don't trust every marketing leader to be able to do it.
Yeah. No.
Because they haven't got the experience themselves in doing it. I was an SDR. I was a seller. I understand it. I get the grievance behind it. Like, I understand how shitty of a job it can be. I know what they need because I've done it myself. Not every marketing leader has done that. I wouldn't advise it unless a marketing leader has come up that same route as me.
Yeah. Yeah. They need support. They need support and guidance and hand holding. All right, good. Switching topics just a little bit. I'm wary of time. I think we have maybe 5 more minutes left. So you actually have this podcast that I'm now sitting on as your guest, right? Now you're in the hot seat.
You bloody hijacked it.
I mean, the growth path, it was started, 8-9 months ago, I think, off the top of my head. And there's a lot of companies where you and I both agree that B2B it's a magic wand that's under leveraged in B2B SaaS or just B2B in general. So what are some of the learnings we've had from your perspective in having growth path that maybe you can give to others as a tip?
So don't be boring. Don't be another bloody business podcast. Nobody gives a shit. I think, Dave, if you remember correctly, like we started this podcast off the back of a couple of bottles of wine. Sitting in my garden, if you remember correctly. Yeah. And for me, it sort of was like a passion project for me. And it as well. We were speaking with a couple of people last week. So we were at a VIP dinner last week at this Tekpon Awards. There's probably 25, 30 of us there. And we were speaking with a number of people there and we were talking about the pod. And they were like, well, what's this all about? Like, I heard you do a podcast. I'm like, yeah, we've had fucking astronauts on. We've had big wave surfers on. We've had Bitcoin influencers or educators, as he likes to call himself. We've had the fastest wingsuited woman in the world on. We're trying to get like what's the latest one that you're trying to get on? The
crazy one coming on probably. I was trying to find bear attack or shark attack survivor to come on, but in that path I found somebody else.
Exactly. We've had ex-Navy SEALs on. We've also had CEOs of top world-class businesses, right? So like it's a mix, but it's all people that I just want to have a conversation with. And actually, by us just wanting to have a conversation, we've seen like the listeners just go whoop, and people say, well, it's not your ICP. It's like people in SaaS or B2B tech, they don't want to listen to me talk to some marketer from some other brand talk about, oh yeah, well, we took a keyword strategy and we turned that into a campaign, and nobody gives a shit. No. They want to learn different things. And that's, for me, it was sort of like, I don't know, it was almost like a passion project for me because I just did it because I enjoyed it. And because of that, we're coming up to 50 episodes. And it's been super easy for me to do. I've done other pods which are like, they bore me to tears, me personally, and you can see that in the episode as well, that I'm just disinterested, right? Not part of Growth Path, but with other businesses, because they really push, we need to be talking to our ICP, and there's a time and place for that, but like you get more attention.
Our ICP is human, and they have more interest than just business metrics.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool.
And actually, just on that, by the way, because one of the guys we were talking to at dinner last week was in the finance space. He's an accountant or maybe a lawyer even. And I can tell you, he was very critical about like how we were doing this.
Oh yeah.
Last week. So let me see. So, and he said, I'll give it a listen, but like, if it's not your ICP or whatever. And he literally said, just listen to a couple of podcasts. He sent me a message yesterday, right? Cool. So sent me a message yesterday. He said he's listened to a couple of podcasts, not like any others I've ever heard before. It is just, you're right. It was just having a conversation. Every other podcast I've listened to some sort of agenda or topic to go through, but doesn't feel that way. This feels more authentic and personable. I'll definitely listen to a few more.
Holy
so,
shit, that's awesome.
Like it's one of those things, right? It's like people don't want to be bored to tears. Like, I mean, we can create boring content if you want, but it doesn't need to be boring.
I don't want to listen to like deep marketing podcasts.
No.
I want to listen to something completely unrelated to work when I'm on my free time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but in between, you're also listening to personal stories about business that has happened for those people that have been involved. So if we take like ex-Navy SEAL on. He's now been running a profitable business, which is in coaching over the past years, working together with Fortune 500 CEOs. So we spoke about that, right? Like we also focus on the business side of things for them, right? So that's
it's basically, I keep describing it as working in two mental compartments, and I think most founders have it, right? The growth and metric side, and then the mindset stuff. So who better understands mindset than like an ex-Navy SEAL who's been in some shit and then also founded a business and wrote 2 books, right?
Exactly.
It's on point. Okay, cool. ABM, PLG, demand gen, sales led. There's a lot of buzzy things out there. What's your favorite play?
I like sales-led growth because it gives me more room to spread my wings a bit, or marketing to spread their wings. Like I think with PLG, you're always looking at what's the customer acquisition costs, right? So CAC, right? You're just looking at CAC the entire time. And I don't know if it translates into many other languages, but CAC typically means shit. So, like if you're just looking at CAC all the time, you're going to be having a pretty CAC time. So, like it's the issue with it is that with PLG, it's interesting, but you're playing. It's basically like a B2C play, like almost like a consumer-led play, because you've got very, very low costs and very, very high volume needed. So your margins are super tight. So you can't really, and you're also selling a B2B, so you can't really build any type of relationship. You need to be based on what's some catchy copy that's going to get somebody into a free trial motion, right? And the channels that you can use, everyone's always looking, what's the new channel for growth? Right. The new channel for growth is, as always, Google. There is no new channel. There's nothing like that's over here that's like, we have to test that and then it's going to explode our growth. It's all bollocks. Like it doesn't like Google. You need to spend heavy in Google. You need to focus on SEO. You need to be now focused on AI SEO with the likes like to our friends over in Otterly. Shout out to you, Thomas Payham, and Otterly.ai. Check out those guys. That's how you can be found in search, right? On AI, so ChatGPT, etc. Right? How to best tailor your SEO or your content to be found on AI. But really, like SLG, you have bigger budgets, you have more touch points. You're not selling bubble gum, right? You probably have minimum $100,000 a year contracts, so that gives you a certain budget that you can play with, so you can do creative marketing things.
That's right. Okay, I'm wary of time. I'm going to sound exactly like you usually do at the end of episodes right now. So, where can people find you, Andy?
Purplepath.io, LinkedIn, Andy Culligan. Follow me on LinkedIn. Connect me on LinkedIn if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Put it out there on LinkedIn. So send me an email, whatever. Always have to chat.
I'll make sure David adds that those places to find you in the description below the video. Guys, Andy, thank you very much for the. I'm happy that I got to surprise you a little bit and bring you onto your own show. The only way to do that was to have you bring me on your show. So it was a good swap. I appreciate it. And man, thanks. Good listening to you.
And you forgot the best bit. Guys, this has been another episode of Growth Path.
Thanks. This has been another episode of Growth Path. Stay tuned for more great content. Bye.
No, you didn't do it right. Guys, it's been another episode of Growth Path. Tune in again next week for more great content.
See you later.
See ya.